Hey there, my name is Alex, I am the Mont, and as the thumbnail hopefully clued you in on, we're going to be talking about a character from Final Fantasy XIV in this video, specifically Myste from the Dark Knight 60 to 70 quest chain. Spoiler warning time, this video will contain spoilers for Heavensward's story up to the conclusion, as well as the Dark Knight quest chain from start to finish. So if you haven't beaten Heavensward and done the 70 Dark Knight quest, turn off now, assuming you care about spoilers, that is. Still here? Well, let's get started. I've seen quite a lot of people in the community discussing the topic. Who is Myste? What is he? What does he represent? Where did he come from? Whilst the game never specifically confirms exactly who Myste is compared to, say, Frey, I think it is fairly clear-cut, so I'll give you my opinion on the matter. The way I see it, Myste is an amalgamation of Orshfon of House Fortun and perhaps Izel, at least when it comes to the physical manifestation of this character. As for what Myste represents, we'll talk more on that in a moment. The physical resemblance is obviously quite strong. Myste is a match for Orshfon's hair, eye and skin colouring, a silver bluish hue for hair, dark blue eyes, and pale skin. And if Myste isn't using Izel's exact hairstyle, then it's a very close one. But of course, physical resemblance we can chalk down to mere coincidence. The game is limited by its engine, so of course some characters resemble one another. But there is a little more to it. And take this description of Myste, for example, from the Eorzean Encyclopedia. His hair, his eyes, none of it is his own. He is imperfect, a failure, a misbegotten runt, and yet, is he not someone's special someone? A young boy the Dark Knights encounter in Ishgard, his only wish is to ease the suffering of others, a wish born of profound regret. He only wanted to protect them, to save them somehow. But there is something more to be said of this child. The world is not so kind, so gentle a place that such naive wishes are granted, yet perhaps it was not all in vain, for even today, might another not yet be saved by someone following in his footsteps? I only found this description upon starting to write this script, where I was looking up some pictures for Myste to double check that I wasn't imagining anything about the hair and eye colour. Yet, it's further vindicated me in my belief of this theory. It is further good evidence in my eyes. And it was accompanied by the quote, "It is not death itself we fear, but the unfinished story, the promise of what could have been." Even so, let us look past the mere physical comparisons and consider, where is it that Myste comes from? He first appears just outside of Fortun Manor in Ishgard, and let's look at the relevant journal entry. For all your victories, for all your accomplishments, you cannot turn your mind from the failures, from the mistakes and missteps, and the lives forever extinguished, for those we have lost. And that is just human nature. Failures stick with us. Compared to our successes, we remember them acutely. You could receive 100 compliments in a day, and one insult, and it will probably be that one insult that sticks with you. As your warrior of light speaks to their companions of past events, the soul crystal splits, and Myste appears. So, is it coincidence that a character resembling Orshfon manifests just outside of Fortun Manor, whilst the Warrior of Light is brooding over the fallen? In a sense, Myste represents the Warrior of Light's internal dismay at failing to save Orshfon and perhaps Izel too. Frey is the manifestation of the Dark Knight's dark side. Myste is another facet of that soul crystal. Why, as Frey puts it during the last quest, Myste believes that the only way we can atone for our sins is to undo them with his simulacrums. Every life we took, every death that weighs upon our soul, he would make amends for it all with his beautiful lies. As we fought against our own dark side, so too do we fight to overcome these regrets, these failings of a sort, and come to terms with what we have done and what we could not do. That is my belief then. Myste represents our character's anger, sorrow, these negative feelings and frustrations that we could not save everyone. We could not save Orshvon, we could not save Izel. Defeating Myste is finding closure of a sort. That is how I interpret it. One of the more interesting quest lines, if you ask me. But what do you think? And I'll end this video on the last journal entries. Do you recall how we came to this place? At a friend's behest in the midst of a raging blizzard. As we drew closer, the gates faded into vision, and the towering spires. The man bowed low and bade us follow him, up the winding stair, from still smouldering ruin to untouched splendour. There we found a warm home and warm hearth, and warm hearts. At the last vigil, as you reflect once more on the path you have walked, you are surprised by Lord Edmond, who greets you warmly. News of your exploits is delivered to Fortun Manor daily, and you remain always in the thoughts of the former Count and his family. Though a part of him wishes you would remain in Ishgard, he knows that your destiny leads you elsewhere, for you are still a hero. You are still a good person.